Lebanon is the first line of defense to counter terrorism, the terrorist threat, and Lebanon is considered to be the gate to the Mediterranean. And thanks to the stubbornness of our armed forces at the borders of our country, we defend also the security of other states. And this stubbornness rests on the necessity to fight against terrorism and extremism. Lebanon is founded on the coexistence of Christians and Muslims, and the country have chosen the way having limited resources but having a high morale. And Lebanon Republic is the winner and came out of this battle and disrupted the plans of extremists to develop this unhealthy situation both inside the country and in the adjacent states. And in 2000, Lebanon army was very active and prevented the attempts of Adani. And naturally, terrorism is very similar to the mushroom. If you don't destroy it, it will grow again. And the armed forces of Lebanon, with other enforcement structures, entered in a very tough battle with Fatah al-Islam, and the army managed by its own forces to stabilize the situation in the area of Nahr al-Barid at the north of Lebanon and eliminate great number of the members of these organizations. And after that, the whole column of automobiles evacuated, killed and wounded. In 2013, we entered in a very difficult confrontation with the terrorist organization of Ahmad al-Asir and eliminated it. So that we prevented the emergence of a very dangerous situation in the country. They started to realize their initiative at the eastern border of Lebanon, and the army is capable and ready to take the initiative in its hands and to inflict decisive blows in the run of the military fight, which goes until today. I'm talking about this with conviction towards the army men at the border of Lebanon who are fighting with courage and decisiveness, and they stand against any aggression against Lebanon. This confrontation was also escorted by the actions of terrorist cells inside the country, similar to those which took place in the Sinai and in Belgium. And the army is stubbornly fighting on every front. And terrorists, they continue their attempts and they conduct their intelligence activity. Actually, we also watch them carefully. We try to identify the members of these terrorist attacks who are being brought to justice. Judicial prosecutions, in their turn, could also contribute to the prevention of terrorist attacks and destruction of the statehood of Lebanon. In this case, it is necessary to start the exchange of intelligence information between all countries. I would like to draw your attention to the fact that despite the atrocities and crimes which are continued to be launched by the terrorists, Lebanon armed forces gave a promise to observe and adhere to the international laws and humanitarian rules. And these causes requires support of Lebanon and its army to ensure the stubbornness and the formidable ground for the state. And this support could be provided by the following: supply of necessary hardware and military equipment, and also training of Lebanese army and law enforcement agencies to guarantee their professionalism, and supply of respective ministries with the intelligence information. Secondly, the activity to mitigate negative influence from the inflow of Syrian refugees, the number of which amounted to 1.5 million people, which is 1/3 of the population of Lebanon of 4 million people, and Lebanese Republic is unable alone to overcome this situation. The economic losses of Lebanon since 2012 amounted to $13 billion. To stop violations on behalf of Israel in airspace, land, and at sea. The problem of refugees also caused negative effect in ever greater degree. And this problem may be very harmful to other states, for the terrorists penetrate into the refugee camps and hide there, and then to find themselves in different countries and penetrate also to Europe. In order to overcome all these problems, it is necessary to solve them from the very beginning and to create the conditions so that there are no prerequisites in Syria which contribute to the emergence of such refugee problem. And we think that Syrian refugees couldn't find permanent shelter for them on the territory of Lebanon. Thirdly, it is necessary to stop the violations of our border on behalf of Israel in our airspace, land, and maritime border, and not only in the south, and contribute to the solution of the political crisis in Syria. And we are expecting toughening of the positions of who are manufacturing and sell weapons, so that this weapon is not channelized to the terrorist cells, and more stringent supervision over arms supply should be arranged. Number 6 is to discontinue the sources of supply of terrorists by all available means. Esteemed gentlemen, the stubbornness of Lebanon in the fight with terrorism positively influences the international situation. Stability of Lebanon is the stability of the whole of the world. That's why, to the interests of the states who are fighting with terror, we need to provide support to Lebanese army and other law enforcement agencies in the fight with this problem. Destruction of terrorism couldn't be accomplished without joint responsibility and solidarity of the global community to eradicate in all concealed places. Once again, I'd like to express my thanks to the organizers of this conference, who gave us the possibility to describe the real situation in Lebanon, the needs of the army, and our viewpoint towards the problem of fight with terrorism. So let God help us. May God help us. We hope that the purposes of this conference will be achieved. And thank you for your attention.